Now, this is a new story. I started it the other night and I want to finish it now. Years ago, we were only small. There was, we never had that much food. You'd always be a little bit hungry. And there was one bad year, I think Dickie Spuds didn't grow, but Dickie didn't have that much more money to go to the shop to buy stuff. So, but we were all real hungry. And Ben was only a baby at the time and she was crying for food and I didn't know what to do, and more Mammy didn't know what to do, and poor old Dickie was out there trying to save what onions he had and carrots to bring in to make a bit of a stew, but he'd nothing at all. So I went outside. I used to go for a walk when I'd be hungry just to kind of clear my head because it stopped me thinking of food. I was walking out, I went out to Moke's field and I was walking anyway, and next thing I heard this called, "Hey Mick." And I looked around and said, "Oh, who's that now? Someone out in the field shooting." I said, "Mick." I looked again. I said, "Down here, Mick." I looked down and there was a little old mushroom. And underneath, I was sitting on the mushroom was this fella. It was a big mushroom. Enough. And
was he like the highest of you?
Oh no, I'm only about that size. About 4 high.
Oh.
Less than 4 high. So he says to me anyway, I said, yeah. I said, Jesus, am I seeing things? It says. I says, no, I'm real. And he had a great little suit on him, a little old suit, a little blazer, a little shirt and tie on him. A real dapper little fella. Nice bit of clean clothes and nice slacks on him. And he said to me, he said, bad year. I said, it is. I said, why are you doing it in the field? I said, I'm walking around. I said, why are you walking? So I said, I come out to see if I can see any old mushrooms there and I'd see a bit of food in the ditch. The lads are hungry inside, there's very little food. Dickie didn't have any money, there was no work. And he said, is that bad? Bad enough. I said, I'm walking over here. I said, because I'm trying to stop myself thinking of the whole hunger. And Ben's in there crying. I said, I heard her crying. He says, she was crying last night. I said, yeah, she was crying. So why is she crying? I said, she's hungry, sure. He said, right. He says, I'll do you a favour. I says, what? I said, what's that? I said, what's in it for you? I said, oh, nothing. I'm doing it for you now. I'll tell you what you do actually, yeah. If you tell that fella that Moog Redmond who owns this field, he said, tell Moog not to cut the meadow. I said, why? He said, I'm always out in the meadow and that's what come after my tractor. I said, right, sure, I'll do that. I said, I'll tell him. I said, leave the meadow alone. I said, there's lovely hairs in this meadow and there's a corn crake coming back there now. I said, don't want you to cut down. I said, I won't then. I said, I'll tell him that. I said, right. So I'll give you on one condition, he says. If you, I give you a thing, a magic pot, he says. I said, what do you mean a magic pot? He took out underneath the thing, it was a little pot. It wouldn't be a big pot, it was the size of a milk saucepan. And he says, that pot will make you enough food now for to feed everyone. I said, how would that happen? He said, watch this, he says. Little pot.
Your magic pot. Porridge pot.
Porridge pot. Make me some porridge. And next minute didn't the pot start out of nowhere, didn't the creamy, gorgeous, oaty porridge just rise up. I put my hand over, I could feel the heat of it. I said, how'd that happen? I said, where's the cooker? I said, that's magic, Mick, he says. I said, so it's going to boil over. I said, I want porridge pot, stop. And I stopped. And he handed me up a spoon. I said, try that. I did me for all lads, it was the sweetest, creamiest porridge I ever ate. I was starving. And I said, I'll give you that now, but you don't abuse it. And you tell your man about the meadow. And I said, I will. So I picked it up and I went in and all the lads were all sitting at the kitchen table looking at the 4 walls. And I said, lads, look. I got some porridge. I said, oh, jeez, make the blessings of God in your man. He said, the blessings of God in your creator. So I said, get your spoon. So we all got a spoon. And within a second it was gone. I said, oh, it's all gone now. I said, no, wait, watch this. Porridge pot.
Make me some porridge.
Make me some porridge. And I'd rise up and I'd go, porridge pot, stop. And I'd stop. And I said, there's a magic pot, lads. Oh, yeah. And I did it again. And we ate so much porridge, and Dickie had some porridge and Granny had some porridge. We were all full on porridge. And I said, Lord, shit. I said, jeez, that's amazing, Mick. And I said, now the man said I've gone down to Nicky or to Moog Redmond there now and tell him not to cut the meadow. I said, we'll do that. So me and Daddy went down and we told Moog. I said, Moog, not go and cut the meadow, won't you? And I said, why? He said, I can't tell you, Moog, but just don't cut it. He said, we have an old dog that went missing at home and he's out there and we can't catch him. And the old hens go out there laying, and if you go out I said, oh, grand, I'll do that. I said, yeah, just lay it down, made it alone. It's grand. So, who was it? Was it Anne or was it Greedy, was it? I think it was Anne was Greedy.
Yeah, Anne and Dickie.
Yeah, well, Anne, I think, yeah. And she says, Anne used to get bammed an awful. She ate food all night long. It was farting. You farting?
Maybe.
Nellie.
Yeah. So she got up and she married my parents, and then she'd be eating and I'd be ready to boil over. And we said, Anne, say this, tell her to stop. Stop. So we said, just go easy on it, Anne, just go easy on it. So one when we were going to school anyway. But we used to actually, to be fair, now we used to always make the porridge and bring it down to the neighbours, not the different neighbours. So everyone, we used to share with all our neighbours. So everyone had a little, but we didn't tell them where we had it. We just said we had a bit of porridge and here you have it, enjoy it, do that. So we never saw a neighbour scarce or hungry. But one day we were all going to school and Anne decided she wanted to make another pot of porridge because we were late for school. And she make the pot of porridge, she ate to school, ran, got her book, and then she forget to tell the porridge pot to stop, right? So we went off to school anyway and we're all in school and I was just sitting there, it was around 11 o'clock and next minute someone said, what's that? What's that smell? We all went out, no, teacher went out. She said, it smells like porridge.
And then they were like,
And
yay, no, it's good.
then there was just, we saw come up the street, the lads up the road, was just like a flood of porridge, like a tsunami of porridge spreading. And the teacher says, quick, everyone up, quick. And we all had to climb up this ladder up onto the roof. And the porridge just flooded everywhere. And it kept going and going and going and going. And he said, what's that? What's going on? No one knew what was going on. And I looked at Anne. And I said, what did you turn it off? She said, no, I forgot to. I said, oh, Jesus Christ, what are we going to do? So the only way we could do it was the electricity just had crashed. Everything was down. And it was spreading all the way down to Courtown, nearly going to Gorey. And I said, Anne, right, get on top of the wires. So we got onto the wire. The teacher wasn't looking. We said, we know how to fix it. So we got onto the wires and we held onto the wires, shimmied across to a pole, next pole, and made our way all the way down. Because if we would have fallen in, we would have fallen into hot porridge and we would have all got killed. So we made it to our park at home and there were trees and we were able to get to the trees, onto the roof of Dickie's car and then jump onto the windowsill. Climb in, and here on top of the kitchen table we'd climb up high, was the porridge pot spurting out porridge like you never saw. I said, porridge pot, stop. And it just stopped. And everyone said, oh Jesus. So I said, what are we going to do?
You told me
Stop.
you went to burn your house.
We did, we went to the house, yeah, we did up to the house and put our head down, went through the window and told it to stop. So I stopped. So I said, what are we going to do? So luckily, how did my last story go? How did we eat the porridge?
The fire brigaders and
Yeah.
guys now came.
Yeah. So what happened was, I said, what are we going to do? Now the porridge cooled down and people could go down and touch it. It was kind of cold. So what we had to do then was the guards came and it was like when shoveling the snow. Everyone had to push the porridge up into the ditches, cleared the roads. Everyone got their spades and cleared little pathways out.
And if they wanted, they could eat it.
Some people let it as well, now to be fair. But what happened was, no sooner had everyone started this, I went out to the field and the little fellow was there. And the whole meadow where he was covered in porridge. I says, Mick, I know. Give me back the pot, he says, I will. Mick, you let me down there. I said, I did, I'm sorry, he says. I'm sorry. I made a big mistake there. I said, well, it wasn't mine. I said, you should. I said, I know. And they said, right so. And he said, we'll leave it there. And I said, no bother. So I knew he wasn't happy. But the thing was, we cleared off all the porridge and put it into the fields. And the people had enough porridge because they could store it and 8 bits or whatever. But within a couple of days, and the oats inside in the porridge hadn't grown seeds. And next minute, all this new growth of all this oats came up out of the ground. And I looked out and I said, the oats has grown, it's turned into oats, fresh oats. And everywhere where there was no crops, now all the oats had grown. And I went out to the field, and here was the little old fella on it. And he looked at me, he goes, I don't know how you did it, Mick, but you pulled this one off. I said, I know. I said, I can't believe it. Look at it. He said, the finest of oats is growing. I said, yeah. He said, that'll be ready in about 2 weeks now. We can cut it. I said, I know. He said, jeez, everyone's delighted. I said, there'll be enough food. I said, there'll be enough food for 5 winters. He said, well, fair dues to you. I said, I'm sorry if I give it out to you. I said, I know it's not your fault. You were right. And within about 2 weeks, every field had a field of oats now, and everyone's out cutting it. And they made the finest of oats and straw for all their animals and their hens to sit in. And we saved the oats, and we actually made our own porridge, and we had enough porridge. And from that day on, we were actually able to store enough oats up then, so we could actually grow a good oats crop. And you can grow oats, and no one was ever hungry ever after that.
Daddy, what out? Oh.
Oats are kind of like a corn or a grain that grow, and then basically you get the top of them, you shake them all out, and you have all these lovely seeds, and that's what you make porridge of. You roll that then, and you make porridge then. And that's a true story. The end.